Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comic Skate Art stream. My name is Brian. How you guys doing? Today, I'm doing things a little bit different. I'm working on an image for a contest. I figure what I'll do is I'll work on this on the Fridays, and then like whenever I get free time. The deadline is 1 month from, I want to say it's the 10th of March. Or I'm sorry, of May. The 10th of May. So I have some time. So this is what I'm going to be doing. The contest is for a comic book series. I think it came out, it was like a birth from the Comicsgate hashtag. It's a comic called Maiden Knuckle. I'm going to drop in some reference work so you guys can see the character, what she looks like. Actually kind of Bombshell-esque in a way, but a little bit more anime. I think of it as like kind of a cross between, just in terms of the look, like a Bombshell plus, you know, Japanese schoolgirl, or Project A-ko, which is basically a Japanese schoolgirl. Kind of that kind of thing, aesthetically. So I thought, well, I think that's a good fit, right? I can do that. So I was late because I was thinking about how to approach doing this character, and I think I have an idea. So, because you don't just want to draw the character standing there, like you want to like at least, if not tell a story of some kind, you want to have something going on, you know, something that will create some interest, humanize the character in a way or something. So this is what I'm going to attempt to do, and hopefully that will work out. So I'm just sort of setting the stage right now. All right. Let's get ready. All right, switch to the pencil. We'll go with the blue pencil first, so I can just sort of like lay out what's going on. So there's her head. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing all right. Just gonna look here. I like that she's pretty buff. But obviously like cute at the same time, which I'm sure is exactly what the artist was going for, the creator. I originally asked him if I could do like put Bombshell and her in an image together, but the rule is no other characters, just that, you know, just characters from that book. And he does have some let's say additional characters, you know, like villains and what I imagine is supporting cast. I haven't read the book myself, so I don't honestly know. You know? Can you tell me your PSN? Oh, Shaman King. I'm on PSN too. What are you guys playing? Oh, you guys are talking about Monster Hunter, right? How's my sound and shit? Is it good? Or is the music fighting with me too much? Audio is great. Okay, thank you. Because I know the music is a little bit loud, but I wasn't sure if it was like fighting with my audio. So let's see. Good arts, keep it up. Thank you. By the way, Doge, what games you typically play? Well, I'm a big fan of the Soul series. Soulsborne, you could say. Yeah, that's okay. I'll just keep drawing. So there's that. I love fighting games. I am also always looking for like new games to play co-op that my wife and I would like to play together. Now, she's not a big fan of games like Diablo. That, like, you know, not because of the loot thing, because I mean she and I played some Destiny together and she was fine with that, and she also, you know, has fun playing Borderlands. But it's more like the perspective, I guess, of Diablo. Like, if it gets boring and grindy, she doesn't like that, basically. So we play Overwatch together. She likes to play like, she has her own taste, but as outside of that, I mean, we were really big into Overcooked for a bit. You know, it's just got to be like, I guess, like a challenge. You know, I like the Souls games for that. But Lindsay's not a big fan of those, so. I'm also, like I said, I'm big into fighting games. I used to be, haven't really played them a whole lot, like competitively, but I used to be super competitive with like Street Fighter and shit. I didn't like Street Fighter 5. That was a big disappointment. But Street Fighter 4, that was my favorite Street Fighter game. That was like still is. I don't know why it gets a lot of hate. I think Street Fighter 4 is the shit. You know? So let's put some dents, I guess, in here. Yeah, so those are kind of like the kinds of games that I like to play. Currently playing Sekiro and Overwatch mostly. Occasionally I'll pop in Tekken for fun, or King of Fighters. I'm excited for the new Samurai Showdown. I'm definitely going to get that. What is this? Let me zoom in on that a little bit. I liked your Overcooked streams. Stardew Valley is grindy. Doesn't she like Stardew? Yeah, but but the thing is that I guess for her it's more fulfilling. See, like when you play like, and she's got some like hang-ups, just like she has this thing where she kind of prejudges shit, and I have to talk her out of it. Like, Stardew Valley is grindy, but I guess it feels for her like it's more immediate reward. Like, you know, what you're doing means something. Whereas in Diablo, you feel like you're making a mess when you fight enemies, and picking up the loot is literally just cleaning up after everybody. And it's not a lot of fun because most of the time the loot is crap, right? And the game isn't challenging. Like, all you're doing is clicking on enemies until they die. And I guess for her, that's just not, like, she doesn't get into that. She doesn't get into the loot collection. That's the bit that's grindy that she doesn't like, I think. What is that? Oh, that's like a... I don't know if that makes any sense, but... What? Luna is tricky. I usually are talking about You're talking about Monster Hunter. I kind of wanted to play that, but I was actually, because I never played those games, right? But then I heard that the co-op isn't really like, it's not like, you know, let me go find my friend and let's do missions together. It's more like you can only do it if you've already done the mission. I hate that shit, man. Like Armored Core, right? I'm a big fan of Armored Core. I love those games. When they finally brought like legit online co-op to Armored Core, they fucked it up. The first time they did it, it was Armored Core 4 was the first game that had that. And they fucked it up somehow because they basically were like, okay, so here's how we're gonna do the co-op. You can do co-op missions together, but only if both players have already done the co-op mission. It's like, well, what's the point? Like, I want to go through the story with my friend. If I've already done the mission, why am I going to do it again? Like, what is this? What is this logic? It, like, literally doesn't make any sense. And yet, that was how they approached it, you know? It really didn't make any sense. This is a tank I'm drawing. She's basically like, she just fucked a tank up and she's basically like chilling on it. So, what I'm gonna do though is, there's some things I'm not crazy about. So I'm gonna grab her. We're gonna make her, we're gonna select the inverse. And then we're gonna transform it. And make it a bunch bigger because she looks a little bit too big there. All right. It kind of does. Thanks, Doge. Well, no, Doge. Once you trigger the cutscene, your friends can join. It only applies to story missions. Oh. Whoa. What was that? Am I running into bugs now? I just heard a fucked up sound. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Hello, Zuckerdrone. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Whew. Alright, so we're going to lower the opacity on this bitch and put a layer on top, and I will refine. The stream is actually running very smoothly today. You made that sound. No, you didn't. I don't play Monster Hunter World, but it looks like a lot of people in the chat do. I was thinking about getting into it, like, honestly, but Because I got lots on my plate, right? So if I can't use the time, like if I can't play it with my wife, I'm not going to play it. I think it'd be cool if we had something like that we can play together for sure, though. All right. Let's zoom in here. So this is just refining a bit. There's the pencil. Come on. Something's going on with my... There you go. So on Twitter, Cassie J shared this podcast of these two feminist women that do a podcast where they talk about, I'm not kidding, feminist yoga. So it's like yoga activism. And clearly they're from California. I'm pretty sure they are. And it's a black woman and a white woman. And she shared it because they were talking about the red pill. Hold on a second. They were talking about the red pill. And they had their minds blown by this movie, right? They're intersectionalists. And they had their minds blown by this movie. They were really conflicted. And although, you know, clearly still like kind of like putting in some SJW shit. Because for some people, they just can't help themselves, right? It's difficult to unplug. I get it. It's difficult to unplug. But what's interesting about it is that they ended up really sympathizing with men, and they were saying things like, well, my feminism, you know, I'm sure you've heard that before. My feminism is different. My truth, you know. But what was really interesting to me about it is that they that podcast was like August of 2018, so it was a while ago. I think it was August. Yeah, it was August of 2018, but Cassie just came across it. But more than that, they never made another episode after that. That was their last episode of their podcast, and that was running for years. And on top of that, I mean, I never heard of it, right? But I looked into it, and that was the last episode of the podcast that they ever made. And my wife and I were trying to figure out, like, what could have happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just really interesting to me. That was their last episode. Like that movie broke them. It just broke them. Teal Deer, my feminism. Ah, yes, you're the one good feminist. Yes, you're always the one good one. Not like those other girls. Every time. She's not like those other girls. That is correct. But yeah, no, really, just really funny shit to me. And I found it super interesting. All right, so these are the pencils. So none of this is final. I'm definitely gonna, like, you know, try to make this work as well as I can. I want this image to make it into the book. I think that would be dope. Yeah, Master Rogue says maybe Backlash. I was thinking that too. I was wondering if they didn't get a bunch of shit, like, because they were at first going, well, these feminists are just, they're really the exception. They're the radicals. Like, that doesn't sound like my truth. That doesn't sound like my experience. I wouldn't do that with men. I wouldn't say that about men. Although, in the beginning of their talk about it, they did say that, like, when I think in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the film, they were angry. They felt angry about it, and they had to, like, stop and catch themselves and say, why are you angry at this movie? Which I gotta give them credit for. Like, again, I give them credit for that. But they were coming to the conclusion that feminist bullying is a thing, is a real thing, and while they were still, like, by the end of the thing, they were, like, still feminists, of course. They just thought that, you know, feminism needs to talk about men now, too. But that was the last episode. They disappeared. So either they must have had some personal experience that really made them question, like, a fucking everything, right? I mean, I can't think of what it could be. And we never, so they openly disagree with feminists, and we never heard any of them again. Yeah, like, I mean, you can find them online, maybe? We haven't gotten that far, because, I mean, frankly, I can't be bothered, but I'm kind of curious, I guess. You know? It's just interesting to me. Hey, Neela. Yeah, quickest way to red pill a feminist. Get them to accept one single MRA talking point or a single non-feminist talking point and then expose them to other feminists. Yeah, like, let them go try to share this new revelation and watch what happens. He's exactly right. Okay. But so honestly, maybe I haven't gotten that far, but I am not kidding when I say this, all right? Sekiro and its, like, difficulty is exaggerated. I'm not saying the game is easy. I think that people are spoiled, and just like Dark Souls, it's been, like, blown out of proportion how hard it is. It really isn't. Like, I haven't been doing any, like, looking up of, like, ways to, like, overcome certain obstacles. I just keep grinding it, or, like, trying, let's put it that way. I keep trying until I get it down, and the fact is, most of the time, it's you psyching yourself out. You know, like, you basically see an enemy, and that doesn't mean that there's never any times where there's bullshit happening. Like, sometimes there is, but you see an enemy, and you become, they come across as really aggressive, and you psych yourself out, you know? It's really not that difficult, though. I'm not saying it's easy, but I think that video games have become too easy. A lot. Like, think about old games and how challenging those were. Or the most challenging games now are the ones that are multiplayer, because you're playing against other human beings. But for the most part, they, like, walk you through shit. Do you remember there was this really funny video someone made where they they made if Doom was made today, and it was like everything was a tutorial, and you basically get walked through, you know, like the whole game, and it was full of cutscenes on top of that, right? I thought that was pretty fucking funny. But I mean, like, that doesn't mean I don't get killed in Sekiro, but I don't think that it's like unfair. I think that video games are easy these days. Hard games are often just cheap death games, spam bushes, insta-kill moves. Yeah, right. Or they're just intended to be made that way. But I don't think... Yeah, Metal Slug. Ooh, Contra. Right. Anybody who, like, I got good at Contra to the point where I was able to beat it without having to enter the 30 lives code. Like, you know? Like, that was how it was. I was... The first Mega Man... So a lot of people like Mega Man 2, right? Mega Man 2 is fucking easy as shit. Mega Man 2 was too easy. But the first Mega Man was the hardest Mega Man. And I played, well, save for maybe these like the last couple that came out, like Mega Man 9 and 10. Those were pretty difficult. But the first one, though, was the hardest, okay? And I got good enough at Mega Man that I was at the point where I was able to beat the whole game with just the Mega Buster and not use any of the special weapons, which you could do. You could do that. And you know, it came down to it. I'm not saying that Mega Man 1 was easy, but it's just like you're playing a computer game, right? So you understand once you understand the AI, and I'm only using that word for lack of a better term. It's really not that bad. Oops. You know? So yeah, Ninja Gaiden. Is that, yeah, Ninja Gaiden. There's a challenging game. And I'm not talking about the Ninja Gaiden Sigma, like Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox. I'm talking about the old 8-bit Ninja Gaiden. Some people said, I remember there were people talking about old games and they mentioned Castlevania. Castlevania wasn't hard, dude. It wasn't. It was like you just had to be mindful of what you were doing. Like most video games punished you for just being reckless. And that's the only thing that the new Souls games and like some of these ones that people say are really hard, that's all they do, is they punish you for being reckless. Neo, which is was originally what people called it, the Tecmo answer to Dark Souls, or Samurai Souls, some people called it that. That game was challenging because it punished recklessness. You know what? I'm gonna go like this. I'm not gonna... let's put it back there. Strider. Well, the Strider on the Genesis wasn't that bad, but a lot of arcade games were hard, and that was on purpose. Ghouls and Ghosts, that was hard, but that was on purpose because the point of it was what? Games and arcades were supposed to take your money. So they made them difficult because they wanted to keep you playing, but they made them easy enough that, you know, you wouldn't feel like you were just being cheated out of 25 cents. But they were intended to be difficult, right? Or they would just like never end, you know? Rygar was one of those games. I remember people used to get really good at Rygar. And if you guys don't remember Rygar, maybe by name, you might remember it as a character who used a giant shield with blades that went out like a yo-yo. It was basically a giant yo-yo shield that he would shoot out. Or it would, and you would get like various power-ups and shit, and kind of like Berserk, which was a very old game. If you wasted too much time on the level, then like this really powerful enemy will come out So you had to like get to the end. So they put like a time limit. Like it's like you're being chased or stalked, you know, by a powerful enemy. All right. I'm gonna go get myself a cup of coffee. As soon as I'm done with this hand. 12:45 already. God damn it. Wait a minute, 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 wait a minute. My drives. What the fuck, nigga? Oh, all this shit now. What the fuck is all this? What are you guys talking about? Prince of Persia. Yeah. I was gonna mention something else. First of all, though, this arm is in the wrong position. It's one of the reasons why this isn't looking right. So I'm gonna draw the hand first. Sometimes you have to like draw things disjointed so that it makes sense to you. There's the liquid. Ice cubes. Put them at the base. You know how you get like an iced coffee and they just fucking fill it? Or an iced anything and they just fill it with ice? Like, so you're basically not even getting that much actual drink. It's mostly fucking ice. Alright, and we'll do this one over here. Anyway, so point being, Sekiro's not that hard. It might seem to be it might be a bit cheap sometimes. Not really though. I guess my only, because it doesn't work the way the Souls games do. Like if you're in the Souls games, you're for the most part limited by what you can access. I mean, in a lot of ways. In Sekiro, you can go to places that you're not supposed to be, and the enemies will be a lot stronger. But once you, like, you know, it kind of railroads you in that way. Like, there's definitely a narrative, and it's, you know, it's more, let's say it's less ambiguous than other Souls games. But you know what? I wouldn't compare Sekiro to a Souls game, to be honest. I would compare it to Tenchu. That's what it feels like, and I loved Tenchu, man. The second one had like there we go. The second Tenchu had 2-player co-op, I think, but they were special missions, so like not the main story. It was the shit, son. All right, so I'm gonna save this right now. What do you guys think about this idea, first of all? So let me go zoom out, and all I have is like the pose and the body, and she's basically sitting on like an armored tank-like vehicle that she just stopped, and she's taking a break. She's got like a towel and a drink. It's a little bit humorous, you know. That's what I'm going for. Because that's the thing, the character comes across as like, you know, I guess the idea is cute and strong. So I'm just kind of like, you know, playing off of that. Because I don't know the story. I'm just going off of what I see. So. But, I'll be right back. I'm just going to get a coffee and then I'm going to put some more work in. I might go a little bit over my hour, so. Am I disconnected? No, I'm not. Don't scare me. All right. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see, where was I? So while I could color, somebody asked, what is this song? So what I'm listening to is, because you might recognize some of these. These are all jazz covers of Studio Ghibli music. So what this is looks like it's all Kiki's Delivery Service stuff. So if you've ever seen that, then that's what that's from. According to the description, I could be wrong. But haven't been on the stream much. Fridays are usually really busy. All right. So let me sip my hooch. All right, chat. So I think this comic came about specifically to trigger people because it's about you know, a sexually attractive girl who's also strong. Interestingly enough, not that that's what I was going for, because I just like the idea of the bombshell character, but I imagine it will have the same effect. So let's see here. Yeah, that'll work. I might not have to draw her ears at all. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. If they kind of poke out the side, that would be cute, though, wouldn't it? And she has a mask. Looks like it's like this. it can be difficult to draw, to make it appealing, to draw a mask that goes around the eyes and draw the eyes underneath it. If they're like anime eyes, like this guy designed. But we'll do that anyway. Originally, Bombshell had a mask, but I got rid of it. I figured there'd be no point. And I wanted to maybe just have the character not have a secret identity, but just be. But I'm gonna, when I go into the backstory, there will be a period where she does that. But it's sort of unsustainable, so... Goodbye, Design Plays. Strong woman? Is she a feminist? No, then she's a Nazi and only there to be fat material. Did you, Howl's Moving Castle, it sounds like. Okay, maybe that's what it is, Ken. I don't know, though. I honestly, maybe I'm just a heretic, but I haven't seen all of the Studio Ghibli movies. So, yeah, maybe I should be purged. I don't know. Actually, this goes down like this, not up. Sure. So she's also got pigtails, which means she's just an object of men's desire, and specifically pedophile men, because that's what feminists say about, you know, if you like pigtails, you must be a pedophile. Meanwhile, pedophilia is you may be a pedophile, but you're not a monster. How do you square that circle? I don't know. That's like... Alright, so the hair is pretty long. It goes back here. I'm going to zoom in. Okay. Is anyone here that's like a Comicsgate follower that knows who this character is? Because I don't know much about her. And to be fair, I haven't really looked into it, so... Not seeing all the anime. No, just no reason to change it. I'm just not a weeb. Not really. I mean, I started watching anime like before it was cool, but... You know what it is? It was like when I was watching it, I know I made a hipster comment, that was on purpose. When I started watching it, at the time, the only stuff that you were able to get was usually the stuff that was the most like highly acclaimed. And so and I said this too because I knew there was shitty anime out there, because I was able to watch there was this like place by my house that had it was like a Japanese owned video rental store, except that the only videos they rented out were essentially recordings, like VCR recordings of Japanese television. Because they had like a lot of it was a Japanese neighborhood full of people that didn't speak English, and they were all Japanese immigrants, and they wanted to watch their TV, but they couldn't access it. All right, so let me just put some. She needs sweat, so we're gonna put some sweat on her body because that was a workout. Anyhow. So, like, Genocyber, I don't know. It was like the stuff that people liked either because it looked cool or because it was really deep, I guess. So, Studio Ghibli shit. Like, Studio Ghibli shit, or, you know, you had, like, Mermaid Scar and Project A-ko. It was just, like, the weird shit. But then, like, later, when it went mainstream, like, everything came out. And there's a lot of garbage. So, you know, you have to sift through all the trash. And so I don't like, man, I ain't got time for that. And so I miss out on stuff, I guess. People say I do anyway. But even then, like, I don't have a lot of time. I can't just be, like, watching fucking Gurren Lagann. Like, how many episodes is that? And I know I know people say it's awesome, but I just don't have time. Whew. You beat me to the hipster comment, lol. Yeah, I knew what I was doing when I said it. You know what, though? I want to say something, because I meant to say this. It's 1 o'clock, but I'm going to try and keep going. I'm going to try and, like, do the costume. And pencils. And we'll go from there. I wanted to say that... you know, and I know you guys know this, but it's still really interesting to point out. Feminists describe traits that men have as toxic masculinity. And those traits are, you know, being stoic, using violence to solve problems, being aggressive, sexualizing, you know, women of the opposite sex, treating emotionality, I guess, or, you know, to be an emotional man, treating that as though it is inferior, essentially being alpha. So, like, having alpha traits, right, is supposedly toxic masculinity. But what's interesting is, and you know, again, I hope you guys notice this because it's fucking obvious. What's interesting is that when feminists, like, come up with their own characters or whatever, when they write characters, they don't come up with anything. They just co-opt shit. When they write characters, their females are exhibiting toxically masculine traits, but for some reason, because they're women while they're doing it, it's not toxic. So it's like they worship masculinity because it's like penis envy, right? That's the old joke. It's literally what they're doing. It's literally what they're engaging in, but they don't want to be seen as doing that. That doesn't look right. They want it to be something that only is the domain of women in their sort of fantasy world. So they don't have a problem with toxic masculinity. They have a problem with toxic masculinity when men engage in it. When women do it, it's empowerment. The feminists are inconsistent. This is news at 11, you know. They're hypocrites. Big deal. But I just find it interesting. All right, so the glove. Oh, I see how it goes. It's like this. And then, so that must be the same here. Yeah. He legit needs to be removed from the gene pool. It's also not the man with boobs trope somehow. Genocyber was trash. I never saw that. I like Biohunter, Spriggan, Ninja Scroll. Femme Socius folks are the masters of double standards. See Bretard Larson talking about using / cashing in while on her white privilege to advance feminism. What? Absolute insanity, but not surprising at all. So I'm wrapping up here for today. I will continue this maybe on my own a bit over the weekend, depending on time. I got lots of show stuff to do, but at the very least, I'll be continuing this image on next Friday. I'm hoping to get this done by March 10th, so I can't really, you know, waste too much time. So this is we're gonna add some muscles here. Hold on. Okay, so oh, waiting on this. Yeah, so I will be continuing this next weekend, next Friday. Zoom out here. All right, so well, that's not quite right. Okay, so that is, what is this thing called again? Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb. I think the character's name is Knuckle Bomb. So that was actually one of the reasons why I thought, oh well, Bombshell and Knuckle Bomb could be in a picture together, but they won't let me do that. So this is my image of Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb so far. She's gonna be, well, like I said, you can see kind of what's going on. I hope you guys like it. I will continue this from where I left off next Friday. And yeah, so with that said, I guess, you know, I'll see when I see you guys again on this stream. It'll be once again when I'm back on Englewood, because I am going to keep working on that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the art and the conversation. And I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you guys later on tonight with a This Week in Men's Rights show. There will be some cool stuff on there. We got, well, Elizabeth and Natty have some news. Let's put it that way. And we're going to talk about that stuff. Just quite a bit going on here. So, also eGuard watches. I'm trying to get them on the show. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of clout, so it's not that easy. But occasionally I luck out and get somebody on. So, all right. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Please hit the like button for me if you could. And also leave me a comment. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I try to do these every day of the week, Monday through Friday, not the weekend. Well, sometimes I do a weekend stream, though, but it depends. I try to do them every day, Monday through Friday. And we usually go for an hour. Next Thursday, I'm doing a request stream. I'll be on for 3 hours, because that's my day off from HBR. So I'll be on for 3 hours. So save up your money if you want me to make a picture for you, a piece of fan art, an OC, whatever. You know, and I'll be on there for 3 hours, and I'll be working on those characters, whatever it is you guys request. I hope that you guys can help me out with that, because I can always use some extra money. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thanks, guys, for coming on the stream, and have a great afternoon, everybody.